Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys the best 5 maps to push all of your Trophy Road Brawlers on. So I believe there's 11 Trophy Road Brawlers in the game right now. So every single one, we're going to show you guys the best 5 maps to push them on currently in Brawl Stars. And then also let me know down in the comment section below whether you want me to continue this series in regards to the rare brawlers, super rare brawlers, epics, etc, etc, and then different forms, because I've been asked a lot to make videos on how to push certain brawlers, where to push them, and what game over best in. So I'll be trying to bring these videos as soon as possible for you guys. So as I said, let me know ASAP in the comment section below. But yeah, we're going to be starting off the series with Shelly. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so starting off the video with probably one of the worst brawlers in the game, Shelly. She's so hard to push on ladder at the moment. When I pushed to 50k, Shelly probably was the hardest brawler to push on ladder because the meta just really doesn't suit her at all. She needs tanks to be in the meta to even be viable, but as you can see in the graphic, there's 5 maps which I believe you can still half push Shelly on, and they're all going to be Brawl maps because outside of Brawl, Shelly just can't compete at all. She just doesn't have the range, the damage, literally anything about her. So if you're going to be pushing Shelly, always stick to Brawl. That's the #1 tip. And for me, personal opinion, Sneaky Field's always going to be the best map to push Shelly on, because you've got the grasses, you've got the lane, and you've got the little wall that you can hide behind as well down the left hand side. You can just keep peek shotting, trying to build up your super. But other than that, Barrel Vault also, I don't really like that map specifically, but I've seen quite a few people push the Shellys quite high on that map because you've got the jump pads. You can jump across the map with your super, but mainly you want to be pushing her on maps that have a lot of grass on. But as I said, really hard brawlers to push, so these are the 5 maps that I recommend to push her on. Alright guys, now moving on to Nita, one of the best brawlers in the game currently in the meta. So there's a lot of Brawl maps that you can push Nita on, but my favourite personally is going to be Happy Feet, and then you can see the other maps on the screen. I'll try to highlight more maps other than Brawl, because as you guys are probably fed up of just seeing Brawl across the channel or across people playing it, but Nita's also good on a couple of gem grab maps, in particular Deep Diner and Snake Shop. Probably the maps that you're not too fond of, especially on competitive as well. These maps are never on competitive side of things, so I don't play them too often. In terms of ladder, I never had a problem pushing Nita on those maps. And then also Heist, Pit Stop and Hot Potato. She's one of the best brawlers on those maps in the game, hence why that being on the top 5 on the list. But as I said, you won't really struggle pushing Nita on ladder at the moment. There's a lot of different combos, a lot of different maps you can push her on, but in my opinion, they're going to be the best 5. Okay, so now moving on to Colt. Colt used to be the best, if not the second best brawler in the game, and then recently he did receive a nerf, which has definitely impacted him in the meta, because before you could use him in pretty much every single map, every single mode, and now I would say he's still a pretty strong brawler because of how much damage he does, and also his gadget is just really good at breaking open a map on certain maps. So I'd say he's still a really good brawler on most Brawl maps, but the one specifically I think is Substitute. It's not the best map, but for Colt it really does suit his playstyle with the long lanes, and you're going to be able to open up the map a little bit more with his gadget. And then I think Colt specifically in this meta is more of the highest brawler, especially from experience in scrims and whatnot. G.G Mortuary is going to be his best map for sure, because you've got that gadget, you've got 3 chances to break up as many walls as possible. And as I said, 504 damage per bullet is still insane on Colt. You're going to be melting that Heist safe if you get any chance of getting it. Kaboom Canyon's also always been a good map for Colt on Heist as well as Snowy Gems. As I said, this Colt gadget is still going to make him really viable in the meta, and then I've even seen him on Siege as well. Some Assembly is going to be a really good map for him. Okay, so next up we have Bull, and Bull really isn't the best in this meta, and I actually struggled to find 5 really good maps for him. So me personally, I would say the #1 map by far is Pit Stop for Bull. In terms of competitive, he's probably the #1 pick on this map. He's absolutely insane. Other than Pit Stop, there's a few more maps that I would recommend, but wouldn't really say he's that reliable on. I would say are Penalty Kick, Snowy Gems, Sneak Fields, and Hot Potato as seen on the graphic. As I said, it's really hard to push Bull on this meta just because Nita counters him a lot in this meta specifically, and it's not really that good at all at the moment. So I would say Pit Stop, and then maybe Heist is going to be his best game mode. Outside of that, I won't really push him. So next up, we have one of the worst brawlers in the game at the moment, Jessie. So me personally, I push my Jessie on Gem Grab with the slow gadget, just because across all the other game modes she struggles a little bit because she doesn't have that fast of a fire rate. But me personally, Deeper Diner is, well, Deep Diner is the #1 map for her, just because the turret can be placed behind a wall and also played defensively as well when like an aggro brawler like Edgar goes into your face. And then there's other maps as well, as shown on the graphic. You've got Super Stadium, which can be really good as a mid because there's lots of walls you can place that turret behind and be really annoying on. You've also got Heist as well. She's always been good on Safe Zone and Kaboom Canyon, especially the likes of the turret brawlers. She's really good at countering those, like the 8-bits and the Pams she can fairly do decent against, because you can just shoot the turret and then it'll rebound back onto that brawler, so I'd advise doing that. Then also Pits. So next up we have Brock, and again another brawler that used to be one of the best brawlers in the game, and then ever since he got nerfed heavily in the last set of balance changes, he's really fallen out of the meta. I would say the best mode to push him on at the moment is Heist. He's still pretty good in Heist. In terms of Brawl, there's only really one map I push him on, and that's going to be Backyard Bowl, because obviously you've got that gadget. You can just break the first set of walls in the enemy line, and then that basically makes the whole map open. So Brock's still a really good pick on Backyard Bowl for sure. And then in terms of Heist, G.G Mortuary I would say is the #1 pick there, as well as Colt. Both of their gadgets just break open the map really well. He suits that map perfectly. Then you have Safe Zone down the left hand side, shooting the safe. He's really good because he can deal a lot of damage still with incendiary style power on the safe. And then you have Kaboom, because you've got his gadget again that counters a lot of different turret brawlers. And then the likes of Hard Rock, because he only really thrives on the longer range maps. You've got to really keep your distance well with Brock. So next up we have Diner, and Diner honestly is a really underrated pick in the meta at the moment. There's quite a few maps where he absolutely dominates on them. These are the new maps that came into Brawl. He's so good on these maps. You've probably seen it on ladder over the past week or so. Dynamite's been getting a lot of playtime, and that's because he's so strong on the certain maps like Square Off. I think that's his best map in the game at the moment. He's the #1 brawler on that map. You can basically 1v3 with Dynamite there because there's so many walls, there's so many choke points. You can get really good kills with Dynamite. He's actually used in competitive a little bit as well in some assembly required, because you've got that stun gadget against the Jackie specifically. You can just throw your stun gadget on the first bolt and Jackie really can't do too much about that. And then you have other maps like Substitute. You have Pit Stop as well. He can be usable on Pit Stop and Hot Potato. I'll say Dynamite's pretty underrated in this meta, and don't sleep on him at all. Alright, now jumping into Bo, and I feel like this one's a really simple one. Bo, not good in the meta at all except for Bounty. Bo 100% is a Bounty brawler. I won't really play him anywhere in terms of any other mode except for this Bounty, using the Bo Nanny Mortis strategy or using the Bo Nanny 8-bit strategy. Either one is completely viable in the meta at the moment, but you've got the best maps for him like Snake Prairie, because you've got his Vision style power. He's the #1 brawler in that map just because of the star power and the totem combination. And then you have Shooting Star, you've got Dry Season, Overgrown, and Double Swoosh. Double Swoosh is a bit of an outsider of a map because he used to be really good there in competitive. There's a lot of different brawlers that can beat him lane there, but I would say he's still pushable on that map, because the main reason why he was meta there, well, like 3 months ago, was because of Pam. He's really good matchup against Pam. You've got the mines in specific choke points down the lane. So if you're looking to push him outside of Bounty, because Bounty can get a little bit repetitive, I would say that Double Swoosh is the #1 for him. Alright, so going into one of the most annoying brawlers in the game, you have Tick. And Tick, just like Dynamite, is pretty underrated in the meta at the moment, because there's quite a few maps that have came out that really favor the thrower brawlers. So just like Dynamite, Square Off is an amazing map for Tick, because you can basically off of spawn just cover the whole map. He just covers all of the choke points with his shots. It's absolutely insane how good he is on this map specifically. And then you have a Triple Dribble and Center Stage as well. He's got a really good win rate on those maps. I've never struggled to push him on those maps at all. And then in terms of Bounty Tick used to be an amazing brawler there. I would say Canal Grande specifically, Tick's amazing on still, just because a lot of the different maps are just absolutely full of Mortis, Bo, and Nanny, and Tick just doesn't really fare well against those brawlers at all. And then in terms of Hot Zone as well, Split, if you guys have played Split before, Tick is amazing down the mid in competitive, and on ladder he's an insane pick on that map specifically. So if you're looking to push him there, that is the map for sure. Alright guys, so moving on to one of the strongest brawlers in the meta at the moment, it's going to be 8-bit, and 8-bit is so strong on Gem Grab and Heist specifically. I'll say near enough every single map you can actually push 8-bit on. Whether it's in Gem Grab, you can use him as a mid or a lane. His range is absolutely insane, especially once you get that turret down behind a wall. There's not much people can really do, especially if you keep cycling your supers over and over again. He's absolutely insane. So I'll say the best map for him at the moment is Hard Rock Mine. in terms of competitive as well. He just absolutely dominates on this map. And then you have maps like Backyard Bowl for Brawl. I wouldn't really say there's too many Brawl maps that actually favor 8-bit, just because there's a lot of walls, there's a lot of close proximity, and 8-bit just gets counted a little bit too much on Brawl specifically. And then you have maps like Kaboom, Safe Zone. They're going to be the two maps that he absolutely dominates on as well, because you've got so many long-range choke points that 8-bit can just cover really simply. And then Crystal Arcade as well, I'll say another long-range gem grab map that he's good on as well. Alright guys, so moving on to the final Trophy Road Brawler, which is going to be Ems. Ems, completely trash in this meta. I would say the only mode she's actually really good on is Hot Zone. She's actually got a really high percentage win rate on Hot Zone. I would say she's top 5 brawler in Hot Zone on ladder specifically. Competitive is a different story, but in terms of pushing, loads of people love to push Ems on Hot Zone. She's got 4 main maps that are really good for her. Ring of Fire, Mosh Pit, Sizzling Surprise, and Watch Out, all going to be her best maps in terms of Hot Zone. I think it's mainly just because of her super. Super can be really good at getting people down. It slows them, it covers just so much map, gets so much control, for sure. And in terms of Brawl, I would say it's probably her second best mode. I would say Sneaky Fields and Center Stage are going to be the best for Brawl, but I would say way clear of Brawl if I were you. 100% save your Ems for Hot Zone. Alright guys, it's going to be the end of today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know down in the comment section below if you found this type of video helpful. And as I said, let me know if you want to see more of these videos. And I hope you enjoyed the graphics as well. Not really the best quality, but I hope you enjoyed them anyway. But I spent a little bit of time on this, so all feedback is appreciated. But that's going to be the end of today's video. Make sure to subscribe if you've not subscribed already. And I'll see you guys next time.